What is going on YouTube? K93 here with a remastered version of my Flush Sonic tutorial. And some of you guys who might be familiar with pen spinning tricks might be wondering, why the heck am I doing this trick so early? It is a rather complex trick and it doesn't seem to kind of fit within the difficulty range that I've been doing thus far. And you would be 100% correct. I thought about this for a while and decided whether or not I wanted to do this trick now or later. I decided to do it now only because I wanted to have some naming consistency. You know, we've been doing a lot of Sonics lately, the Demon Sonic, Devil Sonic, Demons, Devil Sonic, Sonic Clip, and I decided to just kind of stick with the Sonic or the Flush Sonic here, put it here in order because it just seemed to kind of make sense. I looked down the line of all the tricks I want to do in the future, and this didn't seem to go anywhere else. So just because naming was the easiest way to organize it, this is the Flush Sonic. So as I mentioned before, that slow-mo, this is a rather complicated trick and it is rather, I would say, more advanced. So if you guys weren't already able to see, it requires a lot of flexibility. And just as I will recommend in the last video, the Sonic Clip, if you guys are having trouble doing this trick, I would strongly recommend going and checking out my Curing Flexibility Woes video. If I remember, I will try to link that down in the description below. But go ahead and check that out if you guys are having problems with this trick. Hopefully, it'll make your hands a little bit more flexible. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be able to learn how to do this trick. So you kind of start with a charge motion. You start off like here. But as the pen is coming back down, so like this part, you know, the part that's up, as it's coming back down, instead of doing whatever you would do at this point, if you were doing, let's say, maybe a twisted Sonic, or instead of, let's say, you were doing a charge, instead of letting it come back down to its original position, you're going to want to, you know, let the pen go. And as it's coming down, you want to do this really weird thing. So I'm going to kind of break it down as easily as I can. All these little things happen kind of simultaneously, but kind of in order of the way I think about it, you have to drop your ring finger, bring your index finger slightly forward, as in front of your middle finger here. Then bring your, okay, sorry. The pen's going to continue, spinning here, right? Obviously, it's not going to just stand still in time. So by the time you drop your ring finger and you bring your index finger forward a little bit, the pen's going to be dropping, right? And hopefully the slow-mo can show this well, but you're going to move your index finger and your pinky towards one another as you move your middle finger back. So I'm gonna go over that again because that was really confusing and complicated. So you're gonna start off with your charge-like motion. The ring finger is going to drop. Actually, I will say your ring finger and your index finger drop at the same time, but your index finger just does not come as far forward as your ring finger. So both your index and your ring finger kind of come forward at different, distances. The pen's going to keep coming down, and as that pen falls, you're going to bring your index finger and your pinky together and move your middle finger back. So I'm not flicking you guys off. I love you all very much. But this is kind of the intermediate position, if you will, after that charge-like motion. Kind of like that. And I mentioned that this is kind of like a Sonic Clip because you are going to have the pen do a charge between your first finger and your fourth finger, that are your index and your pinky. So this is where obviously you can already see where the flexibility is needed, but even more so this part, because you have to have your fingers in all different directions. Like you have one pointing this way, you have one pointing this way, you have one these pointing up. It's all over the place, right? So you need to also try to push your middle finger as far back as possible and have your middle finger pulled down, or your ring finger pulled down as much as possible, because when you do that kind of charge part of the Sonic Clip, did I do that right? I don't think I did. Oh, I see what I did wrong. It's not actually a charge, just doing like maybe 0.5 revolution of a charge. You're not doing a full charge. So once the pen swings past your middle finger here, that's when you want to grip it like this and then kind of reset it. Now you'll notice that my index finger was doing something kind of weird there. Um, as you kind of re-grip it with your middle finger and your ring finger, you need to move your index finger out of the way so the pen can spin, right? So if you want to continue spinning, your index finger's in the way. You kind of move it out of the way like that so you can kind of finish the trick off like that. So kind of more so in real time, there's that beginning part. And this is that's the hard part, really. It's just getting from that little charge bit to clipping it like that. And then the pen will rotate a little bit just due to momentum. And then re-grip it with those middle two fingers. Move your index finger out of the way. And then there you have a flush Sonic. Not that. Or that. So one thing that I struggle with this trick, and many others do as well, is the fact that, and you've seen me do it here recently, is that when you grip it between your index and your pinky, sometimes it will fall out of the grip of your index and your pinky. Obviously, you don't want that to happen because then you have a hard time trying to get it back into that original position or the ending position. It's still possible, but it definitely doesn't look as smooth. And especially if you're using this trick as a style booster or something like that, you obviously can't have the pen, well, do that first of all, but you can't have the pen drop like that. I did that on purpose because then you are obviously struggling, for example, to do that to try to get it right. So if you are going to do it, this is kind of an all or nothing trick. It's really easy to mess it up and botch it up. But if you do it successfully or if you do it correctly, it's incredibly rewarding and it looks really well done. Now you can do the trick, but do it sloppily. And what makes the Sonic or the Flush Sonic look so sloppy or smooth, what dictates that is how circular it looks. And in general, just general smoothness of how well you flow between each little like mini step within the thing. So that was obviously a bad one. That was also bad because I dropped it, but that was a decently smooth one. And I will admit that doing this with an RSVP is not the easiest feat. It's much easier to do it with a pen that has more momentum, something that has a thicker barrel, so that when you do grip it, you don't have to move your index and your pinky in as far. But if you do it with an RSVP, you can do it with any other pen that is much higher up in terms of pen spinning favorability, which is pretty much anything really, anything that's a mod in pen spinning. But that will do it for my remastered version of the Flush Sonic. I believe my camera is just about to die here. Let's see if I can get one last recap in here. Do that charge motion, drop your ring finger, move your index finger and pinky together while pushing your middle finger back. Let the pen rotate past your ring finger. Re-grip it by bringing in your ring finger or bringing up your ring finger and bringing in your middle finger. Move your index finger out of the way and then do that little partial charge at the end. Again, watch the slow-mos if you guys are having trouble. Watch those a lot. Watch my Curing Flexibility Woes video if you guys haven't already and you guys are struggling with this. Just doing this tutorial already, I'm feeling a little bit of strain on the back of my hand, so I can't imagine or I can't really remember the pain of trying to relearn this trick from kind of fresh hands, if you will. But that will do it for this video. If you guys haven't already, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video.